Hi, good evening, guys. Welcome back to the live checkup, but on a different platform. You'll see what I mean in just a few minutes. But how are you? I hope you are well, wherever you're looking on at us right now inside your Thursday, whether it's right here in Trinidad and Tobago or somewhere across the globe. We thank you so much for joining us inside another episode of the live checkup. So, for most of you that have been following us for the past 2 years, and it's almost 2 years, I should be on point with that. We want to say
Two
thank you
years.
so much. Yeah, almost 2 years. Yeah, yeah. So we're at that point where, we consistently have very good conversation with I guess she's my co host, but she's one of those resident doctors inside the live checkup right here. So for the past almost 2 years, I'm going to say that way, we've been talking about very much different things pertaining to health. And one of the things I know Dr. Asante LeBlanc will say in her opening statement is that what we aim to do is certainly debunk any of those myths. And if you are like me, one of those previously diagnosed Googleitis persons, yeah, you always Googled this and Googled that. So we came up with this concept of joining together and bringing this to you. We've had many various conversations on different topics of health. Most recently, COVID-19 still is very much in our lives. So we've had a lot of content pertaining to that. But why are we here on YouTube? I know you're wondering. Well, here we are looking at the place. I tried to do a lot of investigation as to finding that platform that will welcome everyone, whether you're from Facebook, you're from Instagram, you're from Twitter and Facebook, and in fact, YouTube is that place. So that's what we're doing it here on my channel called, of course, Julian Gibbs. You simply type in that on YouTube and you will find my channel there, and you will find the live checkup. You will find other things like J chats as well, which the doctor certainly will be joining me on pretty soon. But for now, we're inside of the live checkup. So with that, I want to say good evening to you, Dr. Santi Leblanc, and welcome back inside of a new platform. It fits well, though, but it's good to have you here. I know you're extremely busy, so I do truly treasure your time with us today. How are you?
Hi, JD. Thank you for having me. Good evening to everyone. So excited. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Yeah. So because when you check it, yeah. So Dr. Asante LeBlanc, you are the owner of Victoria Clinic. And this is one of the things that I always do. I love to put you on the spot and just give those who are looking on, especially as we may have onlookers for the first time here on YouTube. So please tell us a little bit about yourself and also your clinic, Victoria Clinic on Gala Street in Woodbrook. I always do that for the location. You know that.
She got it right. Speaking, I'm Dr. Asante. I'm Dr. Asante LeBlanc, the medical director and owner of Victoria Clinic, your home for care in Trinidad and Tobago. At Victoria Clinic, we believe in a holistic approach to health. I'm a general practitioner, but also a certified medical herbalist. So I bring together the east and western branches of medicine so as to better guide my patients from health. I'm also a certified clinical densitometrist, so I specialize in osteoporosis diagnosis and treatment.
Mm-hmm.
At Victoria for a range of services, which include general practitioner consultations, medical consultations, Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine consultations, herbal medicine, acupuncture, moxibustion, amongst other practices. We have a health coach. We have other practitioners, doctors on site. We offer psychology services with an in-house psychologist, and we also have, um, thankfully, some sports rehabilitations with anatomy tech. So it's really your home where you can come in. Where it's not the full one-stop shop, but it's close to it, and it's where you do feel the healing start from the minute you enter. I hope that's what you feel when you come in.
All right. So there you have it, a little bit of info about Victoria Clinic. And also later on, Doc, if you can share the details about your various online platforms, because I've been seeing you doing some videos, 1 minute videos showing us to do different things.
Oh yes.
So we'll certainly want to hear more about that closer to the end of this. So one of our avid listeners, and I shouldn't have said listeners, but one of our avid viewers, Amanda, was chatting with me most recently, and she says, Jay, one of the things you guys need to delve into is the conversation pertaining to the Sahara Dust, which we feel we are living under for the past. And actually, I was reading some articles. This has been around, we've been dancing around with the Sahara Dust since early last year. Yeah, coming and going. So the Sahara Dust is just one of
Correct.
those
Yeah.
different things that has been causing major issues for persons with sinuses like myself, or even those that suffer with asthma. I'm not sure if there may be other types that you can mention as well, or other persons who may respiratory issues that may cause or be inflamed due to Sahara. So you can touch on that as we go through it. But just so we all understand what's happening, first of all, tell and guide me if I'm wrong. The Sahara Dust, of course, is coming from the Sahara Desert, and it is just a loom of dust, a cloud of dust that's making its way all the way across not only Trinidad and Tobago but across the globe. Yeah, um, and it's something
Yes,
that,
it comes from the Sahara Desert.
and it's been around for some time, but it is causing some problems in terms of pollution. And what, first of all, in terms of, we'll talk about, I guess you will certainly tell us how we can deal with it in terms of treatment. But what are some of the issues that you have heard in your profession of persons walking into your clinic, having a seat and say, Doc, this Sahara dust is absolutely killing me? What are some of the things that are popping up for them?
Well, the Sahara Dust is, you're correct. It comes from the Saharan Desert in North Africa, and it comes over the so most people, you have allergy sufferers, you have people with chronic respiratory problems such as bronchitis, COPD, which includes emphysema. You have people that just have reactive airway disease. You have people with interstitial lung disease. So the Sahara dust will come through, and most of them will be affected because they're affected by just natural reason, which is the pollen with the pui trees and all this thing. So when Sahara dust comes in, it gives them even more problems in terms of most people that come into the office don't necessarily identify it as Sahara dust being the issue. They come in and say they find that they get heavy eyes, itchy nose, a dry throat, they're coughing a little more, their sinuses are blocked, but they don't know why, not
Yeah,
seeing anything, itchy skin, just not being able to breathe properly. And inevitably, it's because they're outdoors more often and therefore confronted with the Sahara dust. So, this is where, if you don't pay attention to the Met report, weather report the night before, then you're not aware of what's happening the next morning, you know.
and that's so true. We've been hearing a lot of that in our local news from the various weather persons indicating it is coming, it's going to be here for a couple of days. And literally, you look into the skies and it looks as though it's going to rain, but it's really just the Sahara dust looming over us for some period of time. And you speak about allergies and the different ways in which it shows it raises its ugly head. You're saying some persons may even get migraines or headaches. Some persons, you talk about that itchy throat, etc. Um, can you also, that's the allergies, but can you also just touch a little bit on how the Sahara dust, that is, affects persons who suffer from asthma? And first off, what is asthma? Because I know some friends that are looking on. In fact, my brother, who is locked on internationally, he is also one of those suffering from asthma, as well as my nephew. So what are some of the things, first off, what is asthma, but what are some of the things that flares up with someone who's asthmatic, and what can they do?
Right. A disease such as asthma is a chronic, most times it's a chronic reactive airway disease. It's an obstructive airway disease. And it's mostly that your body reacts and there's intrinsic and extrinsic. So that's a whole different other conversation. But the pathway of the pathogenesis of asthma, meaning really happens at the level of the alveoli where we have the gas exchange, is that there's excess inflammation.
Right.
And there's also spasm of the bronchioles at that level. And that is why people have a difficulty with breathing, but it's not taking in the breath initially, it's exhaling. And so if they can't exhale properly, eventually their lung capacity and lung function is diminished. So there's bronchodilators to help with the spasm, and we use anti-inflammatories, inhaled steroids as
Mm,
anti-inflammatories to reduce the inflammation at the level of the bronchioles and the alveoli, and therefore help with. And then also we have to look at if they have. You have to look at the mucus as well in the lungs, because, for example, when the Sahara dust comes in and hits an asthmatic, let's say it's a moderate to severe asthmatic who's on if he uses therapy every day, twice a day, plus symptomatic treatment if they go into crisis. When they are conflict such as the Sahara dust, that will irritate their respiratory pathway. And that irritation comes with inflammation and reactive airway disease. So their pathway is already affected. It's
Yes.
already hypersensitive. Therefore, it's very sensitive to or extrinsic factor, and therefore it reacts, and therefore they go into crisis, right? But even non-asthmatic, so I'm a very intermittent asthmatic and haven't had a
Oh,
crisis in forever, but
right.
very, very, very mild. But when the Sahara dust is very thick for it, I will know because I'll wake up in the mornings and you'll feel your eyes itchy and
Right.
gritty.
Right.
You'll feel your throat a bit itchy. You just don't feel right. You know something right in the atmosphere. And I mean, I don't need medication, but I mean that's me who is very mild. So much less those who are moderate to severe. They feel when they wake up in the morning. So it's really just an added burden there, I say, for an asthmatic. So now asthmatics have chronic respiratory sufferers have COVID, their disease plus COVID, plus any other disease they have, plus the Sahara dust. Trying times right now.
Yeah, that a lot to deal with. You mentioned medication there for a second, and you touched on steroids. What are some other things, whether it's someone with simple allergies, sinuses as a result of Sahara dust, or are there any other things for someone who is asthmatic other than steroids? Do they have to take? Because I've got a friend who is asthmatic, and for one, he refused. Well, he tries his best not to go to the steroid point. However, so he has his nasal, so you can speak even on that for the persons who are looking on that may be suffering from this right now.
So anyone who has sinus issues, I mean, the ideal thing to do is to try and moisturize your nasal in terms of we have nasal sprays, for example. If you're congested, you have antihistamines or allergy tablets. So you have from Zyrtec areas. If you're in the Caribbean, you have all the different antihistamines or allergy
Right,
tablets that you can take. Claritine. If we speak from a holistic standpoint, um, that is where we do obviously a healthy diet, exercise, but most importantly, what herbs can we use to help boost our lung energies or our which is our immune energy of the body. And this is where you would use things such as mullein. You can use lungwort. You can use yerba santa in teas. You can use astragalus or echinacea. And then we come on to the herbs that actually help you when or support the body when it hits an allergen. And
right.
that includes ambrosia or ragweed, yerba santa, yerba mansa. We can look at elecampane. Elecampane is a nice herb drying up all the secretions. Bohi or Chinese mint, which will clear and open up the orifices. You can use a mixture of these herbs, or you can use them in tea alone, or you can use them in tinctures. I personally also recommend for non-asthmatic, or if you're an asthmatic, when you're not in crisis, to do inhalations if the attack is really bad. So inhalations will allow for opening up orifices of the nasal passages and the sinuses to allow for that congestion that you feel in the head to ease. Inhalations in boiling water, putting it in a basin,
Right.
putting a towel over your head, and breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Of course, some people like mint, so they add eucalyptus or menthol crystals to the water. That's absolutely fine. Other, you see, I'm who I like. I do support the use of medication,
Right.
but in something as chronic as allergies and sinus issues, I think we have to look beyond and so you can use the medication along with herbs and supplements And this is where doing simple teas when you know on to allergy season, or you know Sahara Dust is coming in. Using simple teas, like a very simple tea. Let's say we're in Trinidad, so what can we use from Trinidad itself versus me sending you to look for yerba Santa and yerba mansa? So you can start with a very simple tea, such as even mint tea, right? But excess mint can affect your stomach, right? But you can do something as simple as mint. Then let's think, what else can we do? We can use Zeva Peak. You know Zeva Peak, which is very bitter. You can use a few drops of Zeva Peak
Right.
in the morning and the evening. Let's see what else we can use. We can use tick Spanish thyme. That can be used in a tea as well. Um, you can also use, I'm thinking here, what else do we have in this? Because I personally use a lot of Western herbs
I
for the
forget. You're right.
sinuses.
Right. Right. Right.
They're easy to get. But I like personally a nice tea of yerba Santa with mullein and some ginger just for the taste. I add the ginger in this case. And I like that for a tea. Um, Elderberry or sambucas is also very nice in a tea. But the problem is that you shouldn't use anything in excess, and elderberry shouldn't be used in excess, meaning any herb that you use, I would recommend using it for about 4 weeks, take a break, and then another 4 weeks, because the herbs are supposed to support the body and help the body to get stronger. Yeah. Sometimes using some simple things in your food as well, astragalus, in your soups and your broths, wang chi. You can use Baikal skullcap, which is wang qing. So as you note, I'm using a lot of Western and Chinese when it
Yes.
comes to this, JD. And that's because I've seen them help the body and support the body much more. Um, when we look at our cultural medicine and our natural medicine in the Caribbean, um, there wasn't much talk about sinuses per se, but there's talk about lungs. So this is where they
It's
use
kind
a
of
lot of Spanish
timely.
time, Zeba Peak. Yeah, so this is why I'm going towards those herbs, but I still using the Zeba Peak, the lemongrass, the mint, and the lemongrass, which is fever grass, the
Yes.
Spanish thyme, using some cardamom as well. I believe in using those.
Well, I think that is also easily attainable, whether it's the lemongrass, aka fever grass, peppermint, and you're talking about a peppermint plant. There's also the chocolate mint plant as well. Both of we have in our backyard, so we should have for easy access. But these are some of the things that you mentioned that we can use again over a 4 week period. You're having it in your as a tea that would assist in taking care of I don't want to say preparing you, but taking you through that loom and gloom that's above in terms of the Sahara dust at that point in time. Yeah? Am I right?
Supporting the body during that time. And this is where you also look at what you eat. So during season, you want to have not a lot of raw foods. You want to eat cooked foods. You want to have warming food. So gingers in your smoothies. Don't have a smoothie morning. Have it as a mid-morning snack. Um, Having the dal with the rice, having the spicier foods with the cayenne and the chilies, just to open the orifices again. Using cooked vegetables, so not raw veggies. So the only raw stuff will be and your salads that you're going to eat. And even with your salads, adding a little bit of spice in it just to bring it up, energetically speaking, the energies and make it more warming. If some people say, well, I don't drink milk because milk causes mucus,
Right. Yes.
but I grew up on a cow with my milk, and you've heard this forever. So I add cardamom and cinnamon to my milk, which cuts the mucus production quality of the dairy. But also, you can use fermented dairy, which is the yogurts, the sour creams, the cottage cheese. You can use fermented dairies as well. And I think it's important to understand that um, warm fish roasts, if you feel like, let's say you have allergies and you have asthma and you're going through and then you feel out of sorts,
Right.
warm fish roast Don't take it, oh, it's just a this and oh, it's just a that. Prepare your body for the onslaught. And this is where you start with the ginger, the fever grass, the cinnamon, and you start it because the more you can, in terms of Chinese medicine, dispel that wind and allow it to go deeper from an energetic standpoint, the better off you are in terms of protecting your lung meridian and
And that's
supporting your lung meridian.
and if you do not mention ginger, you have to be stripped of your name, Dr. Ginger, as one of our avid followers call you.
Ginger is a very important root, and
Root.
it's in different ways. It's amazing. Ginger is I mean, I drink ginger, I think every day.
Really?
I juice gingers. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy ginger. Ginger stimulates, it warms, it really and truly supports the body. It works at different levels, you know. I think ginger is a miraculous normal kitchen spice that is overlooked anymore, but it's very expensive now, but it's really important to
Yeah.
include in your diet. Mhm.
You are right. It is expensive. I saw it most recently at the supermarket, and I think I saw $25 a pound. I said, "What? I think I
A
need to start growing
pound.
this. I certainly need to start growing this. I'm trying."
I had, but the thing with ginger, but the thing with ginger is that you should not plant it around other plants because ginger is a root and it different from everything else. So you should grow ginger in a pot by itself.
In a pot
Because
by
if you
itself.
grow it with other plants, something is going to suffer, and
Oh,
it's not going
I'm
to be the ginger.
I'm taking your
So it's
advice
best to grow it in a pot.
because
I
most
have mine
recently
in a pot right now,
you must send me
and
that
I
picture
just
because I want to
threw
see it.
debris on it to give some. I'll send it tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, I want to see that because I started growing garlic. So I was like, "Ooh, there's my garlic plant. I'm loving them." So yes, I always wanted to do the ginger, and
Oh, I
yeah,
never grew garlic. How did you
yeah. I
start
just
it?
simply
Did you put it in water and let it sprout?
no, I did not. I just simply put it
What did you
into.
do?
I prepared the area and I put it into the pot, and it started to sprout and grow. And now it resembles scythe out of the ground. So you think it's scythe, but more of a limp kind of way. It's not as
So how do you know when it's ready?
well. I have
How
to
do you know when it's
research that, but
ready?
I heard people say it takes months. So I know it's nowhere close to ready. I heard people say it takes months. So I will certainly research that and get back to
Well,
you.
I
So
guess you'll have pure garlic now.
yeah. Maybe somebody can tell us here how long they know. We've got so many intelligent followers. By the way, you can put your questions in the chat and Dr. Asante LeBlanc will be answering those questions. We are here with you as you go through this discussion with us, speaking about the allergies, all the things that are coming about as a result of Sahara, which is just like the COVID-19, it won't leave, but it's still there. All right. So we're so glad to have you here inside of J Chats. Again, it is on the Jillian Gibbs channel on YouTube, but again, you can find it on the Victoria Clinic. You can also find it on our Facebook pages and our Instagram pages as links, so you can certainly not miss if you missed this moment here. So COVID-19 again was one of those hot topics, but right now we're focusing in on the Sahara dust and the allergies, and I hope you got all the information you needed on some of those holistic methods of dealing with the Sahara dust, the allergies, even your asthma. Now, I want to turn the spotlight. So thank you so much, Dr. Asante LeBlanc, for the info as always. I know you're going to give us the info of
You're
persons
most welcome.
for persons who want to communicate with you. But I want to put the spotlight on you now. So I see you doing some things on Instagram. Quickly tell us about this so we can head to your page and get down on the ground and do what you're doing. I'm seeing, like, is it exercises?
My goodness. So,
Yeah?
yes, what happened, JD, is that during COVID, well, as you know, I hurt my back 4 years ago. I had a bad back pain due to a slight bulging disc, and decided I was not let that keep me down, and got did my rehab, acupuncture, all these things. So I noticed that during COVID, everybody sitting down at home and working on their computers. And of course, you're sitting the wrong way. You're not sitting, you don't have a desk at home all the time. It is too hot here. You want to go watch TV while you work. You're sitting on your bed. So all that led to poor posture. And that led to lower back pain. And you're sitting, you're not walking about as much. So I
Right.
had a few clients calling me and
You
patients
know, I
calling
can
me with
relate.
lower back pain. And I thought, I said, I keep directing them to all these about exercises to do, and it's never, a West Indian doing the
Right.
exercises.
Right.
So
Right.
I thought I'd bad, so I could show them, I could show them how to do simple stretches to help to strengthen the lower, stretch the muscles a little bit, and
Right.
also to strengthen the core, because it's important that you strengthen the lower back and the core for lower back pain. Decided to do those videos. My daughter was the videographer, and we did it. And so, I thought, why not?
But here's my
Let's try
question:
and reach out and
is
let
it something,
everybody see it.
those exercises, is it something we're supposed to be doing? How often though?
You do it every day because it's to strengthen your back to stave off the crises. You understand? And to allow you, and like, let's say you feel stiff in the morning, if you start with a child's pose and then you go into cat cow and do those exercises, you're gonna jump out of bed with no problem. And
Well,
because it's personal experience, and I could tell you, I have been from lying on the ground, can't move, to now doing hill sprints. So it's all and
and
that's
Dr.
that's
Sante
something I can
LeBlanc,
tell
I've
you.
had the pleasure to be at your home, and you've got some hills. I'm telling you, you guys, she's got some
Well,
hills. I can't even walk up, and you're saying you sprinted. But I do appreciate those videos. Tell us where we can check them out, because I know I'm one of those still enjoying it. I haven't mentioned it to you, but I'm still getting those lower back pains. So I certainly want to try out that. So where can I go along with some of our viewers right now to see some of those exercises?
so so the videos right now are on my our Victoria Clinic Facebook page, are on
Yes.
Instagram on Victoria Clinic underscore Trinidad. That is the Instagram page.
Right.
Soon our website will be launched fully, and therefore we're going to try and embed them in the website, so they'll all be stored in the website. And then all the videos, the tips that we do with anxiety, depression, anything I think of that needs a tip, all those are going to be accessed. But our social media platforms are a little. I'm the one who does everything, so you can find us on Facebook. They're there for posterity, and Instagram as well. And I mean, if people tell us what they want to hear tips on, and I think it can
It's great.
be worthwhile or short, I will be willing to do it. And that's what we're here for. So it's about getting healthy and using our, dare I say, the West Indian way,
Yeah.
and
Making it more relatable.
understanding the West Indian lingo more local. Exactly. So that's all we're here for. So I know COVID is very hard and it's been trying times, and so we're going to do some more on emotional health and well-being, and also sharing with you a few of the herbs and the formulas that we have at Victoria Clinic, to support the body and holistic health. And again, our life checkup, and just debunking those myths
Even
and
though I'm
everything. But
secondary, but
Victoria
that's
Clinic
all
is
right.
located at 54 Dallas Street. Victoria Clinic is located at 54 Dallas Street, Woodbrook. So we have a website. It's www.victoria-clinic.net.
Oh,
It's
great.
soon going to be launched again. And we're on Facebook. And I really have to say thank you to you, JD, because I know we talk a talk, and you are the one who actually keeps me in line to keep walking this way, because it's so easy to give up, but
Yeah,
and it's something I think it's necessary. And so I do hope we can continue to try our best and be consistent. It's not always easy because of how many things I do,
of course. I
and have on
understand
my
that.
plate, but I do commit it. But I swear to God, last night I fell asleep. Like I said,
I think I was texting Dr. Santa LeBlanc at 8, maybe 8:30, and there's that sign, my internet connection. I was texting at 8:30, and she was out. I was like, wow. Oh, but then again, you rise really early, so
I
that's
wake up
understandable.
out of the count.
You
Out of
rise
the count.
early as well, and then you have a long
Well,
day.
I wake up at 5 and try and exercise because I'm super
Disciplined.
rhythm for when things get truly back to
Yeah.
normal and we have to be out. So but I think
Before
my husband wakes me up at 5 o'clock for me to
Before we wrap this up,
sleeper.
do say hello to your husband for me as well. Before we wrap this up, someone was just asking me this week, so please share the contacts numbers, the various ways in which we can communicate with you and get on to you. I think it was Jenny Lynn. Hi, Jenny Lynn. Jenny Lynn was asking, G, I'm trying to get onto Dr. Santi LeBlanc, so we may have others who would need some assistance on contacting
She
you.
got on to us.
She got on, yeah.
So you can contact us. Yeah, you can contact Facebook Messenger, but I don't answer medical questions on Facebook. So
Obviously.
that's just not the platform for medical questions, but you can contact us there. Soon the website an appointment schedule booking system. We're hoping to send out a newsletter soon as well, JD. So big things are going on. You can get us on 622-2221, 622-0683, and we have WhatsApp 741-751. And that's a business WhatsApp. So again, if you write hi doc, could you write who you are when you write hi doc?
Of course, of course.
Um,
Makes it easier.
but you can then email um, for appointments. You can call those numbers or you can email reception@victoria.net and tell the receptionist you would like to book an appointment. And she'll
That's
contact you once you leave your number.
that's my girl Ingrid. Hi, Ingrid. Yeah. You remember?
Yes, that's Ingrid.
So it's time for us to wrap up, but I gave the dog the opportunity to stand under that spotlight and just promote so many of her places. Can I now do the same? This is Jillian Gibbs, the YouTube channel. Please check out my website as well, www.jdmedia.868.com. Oh my God, and it's my website. So it's jdmedia868.com. If you're looking for a host, a voiceover talent, because I've been blessed with certain gifts to do that. Whatever it is, just check out the website and we can certainly connect and work together. I should speak to the doc after this about getting my voice in her PBX like it used to be. I'm not too sure why it's not that way anymore, but we'll sort that out. But seriously, though,
Because of COVID, you need to come back. You can do it.
I'll
I
certainly
had to
come.
like improvise because of COVID.
I'll certainly
What
pass
am I
next.
supposed to say? JD's hand voice. I did improvise, girl.
I
COVID didn't give no time to say, I think I need to schedule a COVID message.
In truth, it did not. It just came in like a damn earthquake. Just jumped into our lives. But certainly check me out on that, and also don't forget to click, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you've one of those who are looking on at this later on, or you know someone you want to share this with them later on, worry not. You can certainly do that. Just copy the link and share it to them. And this will also be, because I'm also sending this at the end of this video to Dr. Santi LeBlanc, so she can also place this on her platforms. It's like that. We're all over the place. The live checkup, making sure we get the information to you and even me. Sometimes I mess up. Thank you so much, Dr. Santi LeBlanc, for your time. I know it's way past your bedtime, so go have yourself a great night. And we will, yeah, it's fast.
I will.
Have a good night, and thank you so much, as always. See you guys next week once everything is good with the doc and she's not too
Good
busy.
night.
All right?
Bye.
A lot of